What's up, everyone? I'm the Classic Rocker, and tonight we are blaming it on the gyro again. Let's see if we can do some magical goodness with what we did yesterday and see if it'll carry over into today by slowing it down just a little bit and see how that affects things. I'm the Classic Rocker, and tonight... Alright, I gotta learn how to not have that volume up also. Alright, so let's go ahead and kind of get warmed up for a second, and then we'll hop into a match. Hey, what's up, Landon? Good to see you, man. Hope you had an excellent day, homie. Excellent day for Landon. He's the one who had an excellent day. Because his name is Landon. And he always has excellent days. You just live streamed. Awesome, man. You got your KD back to 10. What's up, Go Dogs? Good to see you, man. 5 20-kill games. Bro, you're on fire, man. On fire. I don't even know that there's a word for that. It doesn't even qualify to be fire. It's like an inferno. That's what that is. You're a living inferno. Incredible, bro. Well, I'm glad that you got all that sorted out. You try. You try. Whatever. You know how to do it. You know how to do it. You know how to do it. Okay, so that's why that's 45. You're on the journey. So let's go just a little bit more. Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I like Expo for certain situations, but I like linear better altogether. I like it better. I just like it better. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. I feel like I am doing so bad, but I know what you're saying. It's like there's much improvement in certain areas, and then in others it feels like I'm doing worse, right? But I could see how it's all fitting together, and I just have to kind of get my technique to be completely ironed out, I guess is the right word. Like, I've got to figure out what the correct technique is for each situation so that I can use it the correct way. You know, because I think part of what I've been doing wrong is I've been trying to use a hammer when it needs a screwdriver and use a knife when it needs a set of pliers. You know, like I'm using the wrong tools in certain situations, right? So just got to go through this warm-up process here, and we'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, I turned it up to 50 when I came up with this concept called high bass boost. So that's what's been helping me to play what you would consider better over the last week or so, because I came up with it by accident when I was getting ready for the stream where I made a message to Jib Smart and the Gyro community, and it's basically helped me to get the right hip fire speed so that I can get to my spots much quicker. So it's like I feel like I've been struggling less in fights against faster people, but I still struggle in the respect that I'm making the wrong plays against them, right? So, but the concept of high bass boost is to have a higher bass sensitivity, lower boost, and it just honestly feels like everything is so much smoother now that I've moved it to that. And so I took a cue from one of the Japanese players yesterday, which basically is like I'm going slower to go faster. So I'm just kind of trying to get that worked out too before I start a match. Because I've got my base sensitivity was at 0.16 with a 19 multiplier, and I've lowered it to 0.10 to a 20 multiplier. So basically, when I go fast or hard with my gyro, the max sense is at 2, is basically what that is doing. But when I go slow, it's at 0.1, right? So I'm taking kind of a cue from one of the Japanese players I was watching yesterday so that I can try to get the right slow speed. Because basically how they're doing their movement is they're being so efficient with their crosshair placement that it's not that they're moving fast, it's just they're moving faster through the edits and the builds and the aiming because their crosshair is moving fast between such a small space efficiently. So I'm trying to kind of mimic that movement. Hey, what's up, Les Epson? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, homie. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Okay. Let's go through this a couple more times and we'll get started in a match. Yeah, It's definitely faster, right? That's why I never would have thought to go that high, but it's the right level of fast that lets me go the right level of slow, if that makes sense. So it's not that I live in the outer edge of the sensitivity that's making me move fast. It's in between all of that is what's making it do that. Okay, so let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Okay. So let's... We're getting warmed up. Yeah, my son had a basketball game earlier, and it was like an hour drive back, so that's why I'm starting later than normal. But it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, so scoped seems like money. Okay, so let's try here. Yeah, let's try that. Because towards the end, when I had it bumped down trying to copy his settings, I was like doing things that I didn't even think I could do. I was like, wow, how quickly am I coming out of these turns and just rocking it. Rocking around the Christmas tree. Okay, let's check this. Okay, let's just get into a match. Let's just do it. For 1,100 days now, basically. So for 3 years, a little over 3 years. I started using Gyro at the end of February 2022 because that's when it came out in Fortnite. I had never even heard of Gyro before. I mean, obviously I just didn't know it was Gyro because the Wii is Gyro, but it's just not called Gyro. It's called the Wii. But in terms of just like playing a game and saying, yeah, I'm using Gyro, I didn't even think of it until Fortnite came out with it. So that's how I became obsessed with trying to make it work, was because I realized how much like my guitar this whole thing was. Like, it seriously is like an instrument to set it up and to figure it out. And so my goal and my task, even though I have not been successful yet, is to try and make this look easy and fun and find an easy way to set this up so that the average person can just go in and just start doing some really cool stuff with it without having a bad experience and going, I don't know if this is for me, you know? Because I think that's a lot of the reason why it hasn't caught on yet, is because there's just so much to understand right off the bat on how to set it up to make all the motions necessary for this game Like, if this game was just shooting bots on a wall, it would be real easy to set up. But this game has so many complicated motions and movements, man. Hey, what's up, Sunrise, bro? Otherwise known as Cage, aka Cage. How you been, homie? Good to see you. Feeling fantastic. Come on, let me see your face. Let me see your face. Show me your face. Show me your face. Yeah, man, it's been a minute. Good to see you for sure. The agenda tonight is just to have fun and try to copy this Japanese pro that's actually one of the first gyro players to make money using gyro. It's just nobody knows about him because he doesn't speak English. Oh, I just got confused there. So I'm trying to copy similarly what I saw his motions be so that I can get some of that movement down. Because basically the key is, like, let's say this is the target, to make every move just be centered around keeping everything pivoted, but keeping the crosshair as steady as possible on the target. Whether it's an edit and it just comes through like this, right? So I'm just trying to get this movement to where I can get my crosshair to go slow, but then fast when I need it to, right? So it's just kind of a mixture of techniques here that I'm trying to assimilate into my gameplay. Voodoo would know his name 100%, but the one that I know of for sure is his name is TZD Kaf, K-A-F, and you have to like type in Japanese in order to find it, right? So what I can do is I can find his stream real quick for you and then put it in the chat, because that's the only way you're going to be able to find it. So let me pause this real quick and I'll show it to you. Oh, that's interesting, Go Dogs. I wonder what his settings that he gave you are. Okay, so let's try to find his channel real quick. YouTube's. So the only thing left that we need to try and accomplish with this is to see if we can get him to play with 0% aim assist, because I believe part of the reason, even though he's using gyro, part of the reason why he's also playing successfully with it is because he's not realizing that with it set at 100% aim assist that he's still getting aim assist on his sticks. So he doesn't use his sticks a bunch, but I did see him using it when he was doing some AR kills and stuff, and I don't have anything against aim assist at all, right? But I think it would be even more clear of how good he is if he just turned that to 0% and he just destroyed with it, right? So I'm going to copy the link to this real quick. I just found the channel. Share channel, copy channel ID. No, share channel, copy. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pop this into the chat now. Hey, what's up, Voodoo? All right, there we go. So that's his link. Yeah, well, he may do it for a lot of it, but I did see him doing it for some of the kills that he did. And it's not discrediting him. I'm not saying this to be like, yeah, he's not doing it right. I'm just saying if we can get him to turn it to 0%, then how much more incredible would everything he's already doing be? But Cage, aka Sunrise, it's been a minute since he's been here, and I was just filling him in on your discovery of the Japanese pros. And so I just sent the link to his channel. So I'm crediting TZD Calf as the first Gyro player to win money. And then whoever this other guy is that Voodoo found, I don't know what his name is, but we watched him yesterday. He would probably be second. Unless there was proof that he got it first somehow, you know. Because I publicly credited Calf as the first Gyro player to win money. All right, let's get that match out of the way. That was warm up. I like it, man. I like it. I'll have to try it. I'll have to try it one of these days. But so far, I think Voodoo's found 2 pros from Japan. There's probably more, but he's found 2 that I know of that have competed and done well in competitions. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's good to see it, but what we need to do is we need to shout it from the rooftop, right? We need to just be creating a stage for these people to come out of the woodwork, because it's like, for some reason, I bet you there's a lot more people that play Gyro that are so much better than me at doing this, and they're just hiding. I mean, I don't know why they're hiding, but if we can get them to come out and just have a place for them to be recognized, you know, and say, look, you did a great job, man. We need you to post more content. Yeah, there has to be more. It's just, We just don't know who they are because they're not posting things because they think it's not good enough or something. I don't know what the fear is, but... Bro. I think I need to brush off the cobwebs from my brain. Because I should have killed that guy too, but my instinct wasn't to pull the trigger right away for some reason. You see how I made that motion like that? That was pretty clean. Oh, okay, I almost did that. We just getting warmed up. We just getting warmed up. Okay. Yeah, just kill me. Just kill me. Thank you. Thank you. All right, those two were practice. This next one is going to be lit. But this concept of slower to go faster, like I just made a couple of motions in the last match that I was surprised at how quickly I was able to get through it because I was going slower. So I really need to focus on trying to copy that style of movement because I think that's key to also helping me with my awareness, helping me with everything because everything is pretty stationary, easy to see what the layout of everything is, and the flips are kept to a minimum as much as possible, you know? So this type of stuff has to be like when I need it, not the norm, right? And this type of stuff has to be the majority of how I make my motion, right? So it's like I need to pivot around my subject, whether it's an edit, whether it's an opponent, whatever it is I'm looking at, I have to just try and keep it as a pivot point. And then only flip it when I have to. Because then it'll help my eyes probably to not be working so hard, trying to keep up with everything. It's just a mindset. It is a matter of technique. Oh, come on, man. I should have not worried about the loot right there. You see? Okay. I ain't playing around no more, homie. Oh, come on, dude. Alright, well, I guess match number 4 will be better. We're just gonna blame it on the gyro. That's what this series is about. It's the gyro's fault, man. It's not my fault. We're gonna blame it on the gyro. Yeah. Alright, let's do it again. We're having fun. Getting warmed up. And by the way, I did get to talk to that professor today and some, like, I already knew this was a big subject to try and tackle, but this is so much bigger than I could have even imagined, because as soon as I started trying to explain what it is that I'm trying to figure out physics and math wise with all of the movement in Fortnite, exactly, it's too confusing because there's so much to try and figure out what to do to fix the problems with it, right? Like if it was just immediately out of the box, you just pick it up and you can just start destroying in Fortnite, then there'd be no need for what I'm trying to put together, right? But when in talking to this professor today, he brought up, and this is just scratching, not even scratching the surface, man. This is just like the tippy top of the surface that we just scratched today. But he brought up a law called the law of inverse power. And what that has to do with is why it requires higher speed when you're this close to a target to keep track of it, right? Versus when the target is this far away, it requires a lower speed, right? There's a law of physics that is at work here, that when you're adjusting it and you think you need to go faster, it may be because you're trying to go faster for close range, but then when you try to set it up for long range, it's too fast, right? So he gave me a couple of equations that I have to try and see if I can actually get the calculations to work right in game, to where you could figure out what the angle is between you and the target by triangulating two different points if you know what the distance is in game. And then you can figure out what the actual speed is that you are moving in game. Like, how valuable would that information be if I could figure that out? But he gave me some equations on how to actually do that. I'm going to try it and see how successful I am at getting those. Yeah. See, that's why I believe that what we're doing here is groundbreaking, because I believe this is the future. We just have to demonstrate it and explain it in a way that people can understand it. You know, and not just give them a rocket ship to the moon and say, enjoy. Let me know when you get there. Because that's basically what's happened right now, bro. Yeah, I feel you, Sunrise. Change is hard for most, but not some. Not us. We embrace the change. But that's just one of the things that we started to talk about that took up like 45 minutes just trying to explain and understand what that law is actually doing. Finding the angle between like this point and this point, knowing what the distance is versus a set of points that are further away. And the larger this angle is, or closer it is to you, it gives you a larger angle to move in, which is why you need a faster speed to calculate or to move against a close range person. But then when you're in long range, you need it to be slow because the angle is different. You see? And so to be able to account for all those things and figure out how to set it up, there may be an equation, there may be something that people can start to use to figure out how to set their stuff up if we can crack the code on this. To make it easier for people is my point. Yeah, what's up, Mr. I? I don't know what you missed, man, but I was able to talk to a professor today, and we just kind of scratched the surface of the surface. basically. We didn't even scratch the surface. It was just so much information that, like, both of our eyes were crossed by the end of talking because it's just such a complex thing to break down what is what in terms of your movement, you know, because we think of movement as being this straight line from here to here in game, but really it's broken up into multiple parts. From here to here is one movement, from here to here is another movement, from here to here is another movement. And when you change your settings here, it affects everything else over here. And so if you once you get it set up right over here, the reason why everything is screwed up over here is because you didn't take into account these other things that you have to set up. You see? Oh, dang it, I almost did that. Yeah, the reason why it's smooth and no gyro shake is because he's got the gyro settings very low with no acceleration on it. So that's part of the reason why he's able to keep it like that, because it's basically using everything as a nudge. Like everything is like locked into this zone right here. Okay, I see what's going on here. I see what's going on. So, if I turned my acceleration off, I would probably be closer to his style of movement. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to mix the slowness with the fast speed to get the right motions so that I can have all of it. I'm trying to go for all of the marbles, basically. That's what I'm going for. Going for all the marbles. What am I doing here? Let's keep that like that. And this is how we get warmed up. Yeah, and I was playing with Cage the other day. He was just rocking through the whole thing, pretty much. Like I think we had 15 kills between each other, but like he had 10 of them and I had 5. So he was just blazing. Hey, what's up, Bassmaster Burton Fishing? Good to see you, man. It's been a minute. Hope you've been doing good. Yeah, I played with Cage a couple days ago, too. And I was very impressed that he was just blowing through the whole lobby. And I was basically just cleaning up whatever he didn't finish. See, we have all of this hidden gyro talent just lying dormant. And it's my job to expose it. Here tonight, I give you the world's greatest gyro players living in secret amongst us. Gyro players exposed. Okay, I gotta heal up now. Oh, that's good. So Mr. I is carrying Cage. Check it out. Look at that. Look at that. Cage is going to have to step up and say if that's true or not. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah, I forgot to turn the overlay on. See? Shame on me. Shame on me, bro. How dare I do such villainous wondery as I make up words to describe my treachery. This has to be one of the worst starts. That's okay. I was busy all day. I gotta get my brain into action here. Bro, that like took all of my brain cells to maneuver that. Why would you want to see behind it? I'm not following what you mean. Okay. I want to work this backwards. 2, 3, 1, 2, 68, 82, 24, 2.5. Okay. Ooh, let's just fall damage myself to death. How about that? Oh, I'm dead. Unless I find white heals real fast. Nope. Oh, okay, so you mean you've been making it more transparent. I see. So instead of it being completely opaque, you're making it transparent. I gotcha. I gotcha. So the cool part is that now we at least have a way to kind of try and calculate some things and then run it by a physics professor and just have our work double checked, essentially. Because once I get some of these things actually figured out in terms of speed and distance, then we can start trying to account for, like, when somebody is moving this fast, how fast do you need to be in order to counter it? Right? Like, we could start figuring some of those things out. Because that's another thing that's hard to determine is, like, how fast do you really need to be? Yo, what's up, Neil Baxter? Good to see you, homie. That's the power of Gyro, my friends. I was able to just perfectly track him while dodging bullets all at the same time. Oh, I couldn't get around it fast enough. Okay. That's the power of Gyro. It's in your hands. Oh. If I would have had my shotgun out, not my SMG, but it probably would have been a different fight there. Alright. Let's try this again. Yeah, well, the goal is to try to unconfuse it. So it's good that you are letting us know of your confusion so we can try and make it less confusing. Because trust me, especially when I was talking to the professor earlier today, it was just a lot of searching for words to try and describe things, which if all of that could be eliminated to just some easy like 1, 2, 3 formula, it'll just make it so much easier to grasp what you're actually doing. Yeah, as a matter of fact, after this match, I'll show you what he was drawing for me so you can see what I'm saying, because that's another aspect of this, is that we're missing graphs, we're missing visualizations of what is happening when we change things on our settings. Because sometimes we think we're adjusting the right part, and then we're adjusting something completely different because we can't actually see the thing we're adjusting. We're not actually visualizing what's happening to the input curve. So, you know, our input curve could look completely nasty, but one part of it is very nice. And so we just keep using that one part of it and not understanding why the rest of it is nasty. You know? But it'll make sense here in a second. After this match, I'll draw it for you and you guys can see what he showed me. It was all just like, bro, where have you been? Where have you been all of my life? I've been in search of the Gyro Master. What am I even saying? What am I even saying, man? I don't even know. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. All that matters is that we are just having fun. That's what matters. Okay, so starting this match off good, but I also haven't gotten into any fights. So I guess that qualifies as good because I'm still alive right now. Let's see if we can get some better loot and then get, oh, perfect. We're totally going to destroy this match. I cannot lose this purple pistol. It is my favorite. My absolute favorite of all time, man. Okay. Let's get a little bit more loot. Hey, what's up, Brody Crowther? Good to see you, homie. If you guys haven't seen his Magic Johnson short that he made, it's actually pretty good. I was quite impressed. I like it. So go check his stuff out. At GoHunt365 is his YouTube channel. Good job, Brody Crowther. Yes, but only for PS5 consoles. I think he's on Xbox. It got deleted? Oh, well, that's weird. All right, let's try and get into a fight, actually, if I can find some people. All of my life. Gosh darn, Marketsov. Oh, man, if I would have just pulled my shotgun out right there at the very last second. I lost my purple pistol. Okay. I've got to get in the groove. I got to loosen up. Got to loosen up. Loosen up, homie. That's all you got to do. Taking it way too serious. Oh, well... Sorry about that, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to do. All right, let's get this green pump. And then let's actually... do it right this time. I think that can be done. I think it could be done. That's the power of gyro, homie. I'm telling you. You don't understand when people start getting a hold of what I'm trying to do here. You don't understand. You don't understand. I'm trying to make it understandable. Just don't die. Don't die. Let's show people the power of gyro right here. Yes! That's what I'm talking about, baby. You don't mess with Gyro Gang. That's what happens. I can't wait till I can just do that. Just play like that every time I play. Every time. I just want it to be just like that. If I can find a way to just step into that headspace and just be like, ba-twink, your history. Your history. Whatever this headspace is, I have to stay here. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm on fire right now, bro. I just have to quit taking such stupid 50-50s and taking that damage, right? But it's just responding so well right now because I'm in the zone on like how I need to move this. If I could just figure out how to play like this every single time. Every single time. It's like I become a genius at this for 5 minutes, man. And then it goes away. I have to catch the whatever this is and keep it. But see, that's the beauty of gyro, right? When you have it set up right, it's responding to like my natural motions. Oh, come on, man. I didn't time that right. That was my fault. I almost timed it right to get him pieced. I just went a little bit too soon. Okay. So let's play smart here and try to get this win. Oh, dang it. Okay. All right, let's do better this next match. Bro, I love it when I can get myself out of those situations. It's so fun. But I just want to be able to play like that all the time. Yeah, I think playing the Switch at 120 is going to open up a whole nother aspect to all of this. I might even buy a Switch just so that I can master the controls on it. Because that, I think, is going to be a huge, huge chunk of how this gets started, potentially. Because then I'll be able to have played on the PS5, compared it to the Switch's gyro, and say, this is good, this is better, this is how you fix this is what you do. Because nobody's doing it. So there's going to be a market for it for sure. Why not let it be us? Why not let it be us? We could be the OGs. See you later, homie. Oh, that was so clean, man. That was so clean. Oh, come on. You gotta let me have my 2 minutes of fun. We killed each other, but that doesn't count, right? That doesn't count, because he killed me too. It would have been better if I stayed alive. Okay, but I'm starting to feel it now. That's a good sign. I'm starting to get in the mojo of this. So let's see if we can get some crazy footage here. That's what I'm after. I want some crazy footage. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, didn't need to take that much damage, but it still worked out. Oh, I'm sure it's going to be better than the Switch 1. I'm just saying that I think it'd be an interesting comparison to say this is what the PS5 DualSense feels like on Gyro for Fortnite, and then here's what the Switch feels like. I mean, a comparison video, that by itself is going to be history making for Fortnite. Because nobody's done it. So I'm looking forward to having all that stuff come out, and then I can actually figure out how to set it up well on the Switch 2. I think that'll be pretty lit. I think that will be pretty lit. Oh! He had to have been like 1 HP. I hit him for 42 white. Okay. So the name of the game has to be stop taking so many stupid 50-50s, right? That's got to be how I play. And then maybe I'll actually get good at the game. Yeah, that'll be interesting too. You know, I can explore all of that, you know, one thing at a time. Oh, I almost did that. Okay. We're getting somewhere. Yeah, if I can make a video of each controller and just be like, this is how you do it with this one, this is how you do it with this one, this is what you do here. These are the problems that you'll have, this is how you fix it. Game over. So all of my deaths will have not been in vain. They were for a purpose. They were for a reason. Oh yeah, here. While I'm thinking about it, let me go ahead and show you what this professor showed me. Let me get out of this match here and I'll show you. Because this is some interesting stuff here, okay? That if I can successfully get this all mapped out to the level of having been able to calculate what your speed is actually doing in the game and have a way for you to like have a formula to find out how fast you really need to go to perform certain actions, right? Because that's the trickiest part, is that when we change our settings, we're saying to ourselves, I want it to go faster, right? But then watch, let me just draw this for you so you could see what I'm talking about, okay? Because this is what he drew for me, and I was like, my brain exploded. Okay, so let's turn display capture on. Let's go to the magical program of paint. Okay, so watch this. So this is what he did for me, okay? So in the process, we spent like 45 minutes just on this one part right here. That's why I'm saying it's not even scratching the surface of the surface yet, of like how much physics is involved with trying to understand the movement necessary for all of this, okay? But so in talking to this professor today, right, I didn't even get to gyro yet. We were just talking about stick movement as it is currently in the game with boost. So after I finish explaining this, and then you add all the variables of gyro on top of that, then you can understand why it's so complicated for people to just set this up, okay? Without understanding what it is that they're doing. Because he drew a plot like this for me, right? And what started all this was, I said, the movement in Fortnite when you're changing these settings is like this, okay? So let me draw this line here first, right? So pretend that this point is the beginning and this point is the end of your movement, right? What's happening when you're adjusting the settings is you are at different points in your movement. There are these little notches, which are either filters or boost ramp times or look dampening times. All the different filters that you can have from your sticks to the gyro is changing the shape of this line. Okay, and so what's happening is we say, I want to go faster, right? But really, we're trying to go fast right here. And so we want the curve to look like this. But when we adjust the settings, we have no idea which part of the line of input we are adjusting. So what's happening is we adjust it to go faster, and we're going faster right here. And then the rest of the curve looks all like this because we adjusted all these other things thinking that we were adjusting something we wanted, right? So that's the reason why when you're in certain situations, it feels great right here. But as soon as you cross this threshold, it's going zoom off to somewhere else and doing something unpredictable. So that's why the pros said, hey, don't use boost because it's crap. It's unpredictable. You can't figure it out. So just don't touch it, right? I'm saying that there's a way to figure this out. Let's actually apply it. I figured it out for myself for what it feels good for me, right? But if we could take these principles and concepts and figure out how to apply them to make it so that everybody else can start adjusting their stuff, then how great would this be, right? So let's go back to this little deal here, because now I'm getting off track with what I was trying to say. So what he showed me was this graph, right? And he said that, let's say that this is the target right here that we're looking at, right? And this is close range. There is an equation that we can figure out what this angle is if we have 2 points of distance that we know the measurement of. And if we record going from here to here, we can triangulate it and figure out what speed we're actually going for this, okay? But in relationship to this target here, he was saying that it requires more speed at close range to create this angle versus somebody that's way over here. The angle is much smaller. So that's why it requires slower speed right here to get this smaller target to be locked on. And so what's happening is if we set something up to be great right here, we're sacrificing this angle of motion right here because we're not understanding what we're actually adjusting, right? So if we knew that we're trying to adjust something for close range, but then also be good for long range, if we could take both of those things into account and calculate what it needs to be, then we can have the perfect sensitivity for every range. That when you set the numbers up this way, it will give you the movement you want at the times you want it. So that right there was just a mouthful by itself, and I have to find a way to condense all of that and go, this is why you're having a problem, this is how you fix it. But this type of stuff right here is what is missing. What's up, Michael? Yeah, I guess I am trying to be Professor Gyro. But this is what is missing from how we're trying to account for our settings on controller in the gameplay that we make. Because when we're adjusting stuff, we're thinking of this one situation and we adjust it perfectly for this. But we neglect this other part, which is why it feels weird in other places. So that's why you've heard me say so many times, like, man, it's just perfect in this one spot, but in this other place, it's not right. This is the reason why. Because I hadn't taken into account properly the angle of motion necessary to get to that speed. For long range, short range, mid-range, whatever. So that was just conversation number one. So let's just see over the months how this can progress, because that right there by itself, in my opinion, was pretty eye-opening, pretty groundbreaking to hear that there's an actual law, and it's called the law of inverse power. Why it is called that, I don't know, But that's what's happening when you have a close range target versus a long range target is the law of inverse power. You need more speed to get the correct motion down for close range than you do for long range. And that's why boost is critical, because you can get that slow speed for long range in your base settings, but then you can get that fast speed for close range in your boost. And that's why it's so important to be able to figure out how to set up boost properly, because you can literally play a whole game with just boost and no aim assist if you set it up right. You know, I think once people figure out how to do this stuff, there'll be players that just play with boost only. No gyro, they just like the way it feels, because it actually feels incredible when you set it up correctly. You know, I think that's the biggest thing with controller players is the feeling you get when you play. It's a feeling like no other, in my opinion. It's very enjoyable, very relaxing. It's not taxing on you. All right. So now let's see if we could do some damage here. Damage. So he was just the first professor that I was able to talk to. I'm going to be talking to more because I want as many perspectives on this as I can get. And then hopefully from that mix, I can get my first podcast guest for Gyro Labs. Oh, I almost timed that pre-fire right. Okay. That was almost a good play. I just mistimed my second shot. I should have just sprayed him with my AR. Okay. Okay. I'm laughing because I cracked him without even really trying. But my play was absolutely stupid. That's why I died. Oh, man. I had the correct edit. I just went at him from the wrong angle. Okay, let's do this again. So dumb, bro. Like, you don't know how many times I've had people pieced up and they just don't even know what they're going to do next. And I just walk into their box and let them shoot me in the face. I mean, it defeats the whole purpose of piece control. That's like what would be the opposite of piece control? That's what I'm doing. Whatever the opposite of piece control is, that's the technique that I have mastered. I am the master of whatever that term is. Opposite piece control. There's got to be a name for it. I can't even think of an opposite term to that. What's an opposite to peace? Or what's an opposite to control? Chaos? I can't. I can't even think of a name. But whatever it is, I literally do the opposite. What question is that, Brody? I didn't see your question. So you hit all of the last shots that are the hardest angle, but none of the easy shots. Good job. Run! Okay, we can still recover out of this. We still got time. We still got time. You've got to be kidding me, man. I must have just missed it by a hair. Like literally a hair. I thought for sure he was going to explode when I did that. Bro. Well, as I said, I'm the opposite master of piece control. Whatever that word is. I should have pieced them up. Okay, peace. Oh, well, I pieced them. Novice of whole chaos. Whatever it is, I'm the opposite of Peace Control Master. Like, if there was an award for being the best at the opposite of Peace Control, I would get it. Like, literally, if you look it up in the dictionary and you look up, what is the opposite of Peace Control? My picture will be right there. That's how stupid I am at trying to peace control. For whatever reason, I gotta get this in my head. I would play so much better if I can just use peace control properly. Oh, cease control. That's what it is. Because I have zero control. So I cease control. Oh, come on. That's what I'm talking about, how stupid I am, man. I mean, I literally just walked into this guy's line of... I walked into his line of fire. And we just killed each other. Because I played it so stupid. I mean, how ridiculous is that? Like, what was my plan? I'm gonna just run and just shoot and hope that I shoot faster than he does. So dumb. Ah, cool. I'm glad to hear it, bro. If he killed me right there, I was gonna get so irate. Oh my gosh, dude. Let me heal up. I am the master of cease control. That's what it is. Oh, what? You were gonna try to kill yourself and me in the process? No thanks, homie. Yeah, let's just shoot the wall, just in case. Oh, now I'm out of mats. Oh, I almost got out of that. Okay. We're at least making some progress in terms of how I can control it, right? So, let's just go with that. There, I haven't pieced. See? I had them pieced, right? But instead of making the edit from left to right, I made the edit from right to left and exposed myself. Okay. So let's try this again and just try to remember, don't do that edit next time. Do the other one. Go left to right. Because he would have been stuck in a position to where he couldn't see me very well. I could have taken a couple shots, reset the ramp, reopened it, and finished it. Instead, I chose to cut the ramp from right to left and then just 50-50 right in his face. But yeah, I think I like that. I'm so good at seize control. So good at it. It is the opposite of peace control, seize control. It's a new technique. It's the latest and greatest. Seize control. You just run into people's line of fire and try to hope that you shoot more bullets than they do at their body. We have to shoot more bullets than they actually hit against us. That's the plan. That's how you perform cease control. You just run up into somebody's face and then just pray that you hit more bullets. It works 50% of the time. Sometimes less than 50% of the time. Okay. Let's play with some actual brains this time, right? Actual brains. Let's go like that. Let's go like that. That looks like a better combo to me. Yo, Kobe is me. We are live, homie. Yes, we are. And if you missed it, I talked to a professor earlier today that we haven't even scratched the surface of the surface, bro, of all the different physics principles that are at play with creating movement. But he gave me a way to calculate the formula of how fast you're actually moving in game and what principles are at play when you fight somebody at close range versus somebody at long range in terms of like how fast you need to go and what angle of movement you need. Pretty groundbreaking stuff. I just have to see if I can actually apply it somehow. And then he can double check my work and make sure that I'm accurate. So yeah, if we can have a way to map out yeah. So the trick is to blend it. So instead of having two different senses, you find a sensitivity that will allow you to achieve both of the kind of movement necessary to make it work, right? So that's the catch with all of it, is being able to calculate those things, right? So if I can successfully map out the things he told me to calculate in game, then we'll be able to have a way to determine what speeds things actually need to be so that you can actually keep up in game with certain kinds of players, certain kinds of movement. You know, it'll open the door for so many things to be easier if there's a way to calculate it. You plug in these numbers, you check the formula, and then you go, okay, this is what the gold standard is. How do I measure up against it? Yeah. Because basically what he said, I'll show you here when I get into this spot to try and heal, is pretend that this green ammo box is my target, right? At close range, it requires more speed. So let's pretend this target is moving from here to here. It requires more speed to cover this distance in the angle. So between here and here is my angle, right? So you have to be a faster speed right here than, let's say, this window is my short or my long range target, right? If the target is moving, the angle is much smaller, so you need slower movement to reach the angle properly, right? So basically what the idea is behind it is that when you are moving in those angles, you want to set it up in such a way that you can have the correct speed fast for close range, and then the correct speed slow for long range. But when we're adjusting it, we're just thinking, I want to go faster, not realizing that we're making it too fast for one or the other, or both. So that's kind of the interesting catch between all of it, is that oh, I just got the wrong angle on him. Oh, what map is that? That would be pretty interesting to check out. I want to see that. Give me some heals. Oh, I stopped it too soon because I was trying to pick up that shockwave. Stupid. Yeah, I'd be interested to see that, man. What? I can't believe I just let him kill me like that, bro. Come on. $16.11. Okay, I gotta write this down. Sticky notes. $16.11. 0113 8283. Got it. Thanks, homie. What? Oh, come on, man. Okay. Let's take the glasses off. Now we're getting serious. And I gotta take my jacket off. It's too hot. It's too hot. Okay, let me write that one down too. 7264, 2897, 8032. 7264. Seven two six four 2987 8032. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Oh, but that would be so clutch, bro, if I can come up with an equation to calculate like what speed you're actually moving in game. Because then you can map out what speed the pros are moving so that you can figure out how you can keep up. You can figure out what speed you actually need to be going so you can keep up. instead of just guessing. You know, because when they programmed all this, they didn't just like guess and go, well, let's just try a bunch of numbers and see if it actually does what we want. There was some thought behind the speed and all of it. Oh, okay. I didn't see that second one. Okay. For some reason it doesn't populate everything that's typed immediately for me, because that was not there literally when I started writing it down. Okay. Let's do this correctly. Yeah, it's all information that if we had a way to calculate it, man, it would make it so much easier to figure out. All right, so let's write this one down. Five 112 1759 8283. No, 8096, bro. I'm like, I totally skipped a line and took a different number. I guess that's how my brain is working right now. Yeah, there is definitely more variables at play than previously estimated. And that explains why some things feel good when you make an adjustment and other things don't. Because you're changing the wrong part of the input of the curve. Okay, now we're looted. Now we can fight. For our right to party. Oh, that's why that skeet practice comes in so clutch, right? Oh, that would have been clean if I could have just headshot that from this distance. So close. He had to have. That's what I'm saying, is that all the different things that you can do in the game, they had to have taken into account certain things. Now, did they intend for it to necessarily do certain things? Maybe not. You know, and that could explain why Jib doesn't realize that there is actually still aim assist and some other things that he says don't exist in the game, because he didn't intend for those things to be in there when he programmed it, right? But I do believe that they had to have taken all of those things into account, because you can't just like randomly just program this and then go, oops, I actually have the equations for how fast people go and what happens when they move like this programmed in here. It wasn't by mistake. They had to have been accounted for. No, he has not made a comment on that video. I don't expect him to. So, you know, whether he does or he doesn't is irrelevant. It's mainly just that the knowledge is out there. People can decide for themselves if they want to turn that stuff off or use it differently. If they feel the same thing I do when I turn those settings on or off, right? So it'll just give controller players the ability to decide what they want to do with those things, you know. So for example, if you use gyro and you're destroying at 100% aim assist, keep doing it if that's what you want to do. But if you want to make sure that aim assist is actually not playing a factor in your aim, just turn it to 0 and see if you could still destroy, right? Those are things, those are choices that people can make, you know. So I just want the information to be out there. Whether he responds and says, yes, I agree, it's actually a mistake, or he says, no, you're wrong, this is not a thing and it's never going to be a thing and it never was a thing, right? I know what I know for 100% certainty that the things that I displayed in that video are actually things in the game. And so I believe there's probably going to be a certain percentage of people that also feel those things too, and a certain percentage of people that say, nope, it's not even in there. Because I believe it has to do with how sensitive your hands are to feeling those motions. Because it's ever so slight. It's not like it's, well, to me it's night and day. To me, I could feel it so easily, right? But maybe some people's hands are not as sensitive. And so that could explain why some people feel it and some people don't. But yeah, it would be cool if he did respond to it, but I don't expect him to. I shouldn't have got up in his face like that. Okay, let me see if I can catch up to the chat here. So that's the thing, is that when I didn't realize it wasn't on or off, it was not feeling correct to me. And so it had a feeling very similar to when I don't have things set up right. Like I feel that it's not moving like I want it to. So it's not aim assist in the respect like you would have a really hard slowdown, but it's the same thing as the smoothing. So for example, hang on, let me see if I can get this guy. Oh, he's all the way down there now. So the smoothing, he says that it's not a thing in terms of being able to turn the steadying on to 50, and that has no effect on anything else if you turn the advanced filters on. If you can feel the difference in the smoothing, then you'll see my point about the aim assist. It's a noticeable thing that you have to pay attention to. Like, if you don't pay attention to it, you're like, why does it feel different? That's kind of the difference in what I'm trying to describe with it. Oh, almost did that. So, if you've tried the smoothing experiment, where you turn the steadying to 50 and then turn your other filters on and see if you feel it, and then turn the steadying to 0 and then see if you feel it, right? It's the same principle at work there. You can have it set up and it's like such a subtle thing, but it's noticeable, is the only way I know how to explain it. And so for people that, like, I think TSF 1000 was the one that said, man, when I turn my smoothing down to 0 or the steadying down to 0 from 5, which was the default, it fixed my problem. So whether somebody believes what I'm saying or not, the people that do believe what I'm saying will adjust it and fix their problem, right? The people that don't believe it will just continue to play the way that they've always played, whether it's on or off. So it's a non-issue for those people that don't believe it's an issue, is the thing. And the people that are still scratching their head trying to figure out what to do about it because they feel something too, try what I said, and then you'll see that if you turn it to 0, it actually does change the way your sticks feel. And if you turn steadying to 0, it'll change the way the gyros feels. It's all the same principle. Well, so as I said, for you, for whatever reason, you don't feel it on the sticks. Doesn't mean that it's not there. It just means that for you, you don't feel it. But especially when you change it from PlayStation to generic, it is a noticeable difference in tightness on the way the stick feels. When you change it from 10 Insane to 1, it's a noticeable difference on how the stick feels. So those are the things that, you know, if you can't notice those things either, then your thumb isn't as sensitive as mine is, or other people that feel it. Because there's 4 areas that are completely recognizable to me that I showed in that video to the best that I could of my ability. Those 4 areas are all, 3 of them are stick related and 1 is gyro related. So the 3 that are stick related are night and day easy for me to feel. And then the one that's gyro related is also night and day easy for me to feel. There's no discrediting of people that have it on. That's what I you know, I wish you could understand that I'm not trying to discredit somebody for having it on. I would play with aim assist on if I thought that it would give me the advantage in what I'm trying to do. I just know that if I have it at 0%, it is 100% undeniable that I have aim assist off and I'm doing this, right? But if I had aim assist on at 100% and what I'm saying is true, right? It's not a discredit, it's just using something that's in the game. Because you're the one that's against aim assist, I'm not. I love aim assist. You hate aim assist. I want controller players to play with aim assist if that's what they want to do, right? But it's not a discredit to say, hey, TZD Calf, you're really good with gyro. Let's see how well you do when you turn the aim assist to 0%. And if he can play literally the same exact way that he is playing now, right? Then how much more powerful is what he is doing by turning it off, you see? So I guess my point is that if aim assist is truly off when gyro is enabled, what is the harm in turning it to 0%? Just so that you can say, hey, I really, really turned it off and it has no effect on my aim. Ah, come on, man. Yeah, it's definitely noticeable. But hopefully you get my point, because I am the one that gave him credit first publicly to be the winner of the first person to win money using gyro, right? So as cool as that is, how cool would it be if he was able to do it with aim assist completely zeroed out? You see? Because then it would just remove completely any type of shadow of a doubt that you are not using aim assist at all. In any way. So that's the reason why I turn it to 0. Not because I hate aim assist and I don't want it. I would much rather probably play on aim assist because it's so much easier. Right? But I like playing on gyro because it's a challenge. It's fun. Right? If I can tackle this puzzle and make it work, then I've solved an issue that is very fun. You know, that's what's motivating me with all of it, is that I see the potential of what gyro can be. And how fun would it be if I could completely destroy, beyond a shadow of a doubt, 0% aim assist, win a tournament match even with 0% aim assist off. That's unheard of. So that's kind of what drives me with it, is because I want to try to do something that has never been done before. I want to try to do something that is undeniably skill, and that nobody can in any way say that I had aim assist on. Well, if that was true, right? Watch his gameplay when you see him using AR to kill. The adjustment he made was only from here to here. It wasn't necessary to use it. Unless there's something there that you're feeling. You see? That's what I'm saying. And again, that is not a discredit. I would be using aim assist if I thought that it was going to help me with what I'm trying to do. But when you said that in the Discord message, I literally watched him do an AR kill from this distance, and the stick was moving like this. So yeah, he does not use as much stick, but he is using it to aim in. So you have to ask yourself why. Why is that? Oh, that's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that, bro. I can't believe I got out of that. I still need to get out of here. Oh, okay, good. Got a shotgun. Okay, so I don't need to convince you. You can believe what you want to believe, right? But just ask yourself, what's the harm if he can do that with aim assist completely turned to 0? How much greater would it be? You see, you can watch him 50 times and not have it on, right? But if he can do it and have it turned off, that would be an amazing feat. So I don't see what the harm is in saying, hey, why don't you try playing with it turned to 0? Because if it's really off, then why does it matter? You see, it's not a discredit. It's just saying, hey, look, if you're really not using aim assist in any shape, form, or fashion, then turn it to 0. And let's see if you can play the same still. Because my guess is that he will play similar, but it won't feel quite right. He'll have to adjust his settings because it does feel different. And I know because I've tried his settings, both with aim assist on and aim assist off. And I can see what he's doing with it. But again, that's why literally Gyro is like a religion. Like I am learning, the more and more involved that I get with the Gyro community, it's literally like a religion. There's people that believe what they believe, no matter what you tell them. I mean, they just believe it. Well, let's put it like this. If he gets offended because you ask him to do it, ask yourself, why would that be an offense? Because if he's not using aim assist at all, right, in any way, how could it be offensive for him to just go, oh yeah, watch, I'll turn it off and I'll still destroy the same way? That's not offensive to me. Like if somebody came to me and said, hey, can you turn aim assist off to prove that you're not really using any aim assist at all? I'd say for sure, man. Because I know that when I have aim assist turned off, it feels different. And then if I have aim assist turned on, it feels different. You know? Because again, my whole entry into this whole project was not based on gyro. It was based on trying to abuse aim assist with boost. And then when gyro first came out, I tried to couple it with aim assist and I couldn't get it to work like I wanted it to. So I just abandoned leaving aim assist on at any percentage because it felt so much better to just be at 0%. Because what happens is when aim assist is on while gyro is on, let's use this line between this green thing and this white wall as the example. When you have aim assist on, it's like it skips. You can feel it skipping versus it being completely smooth and flat when aim assist is off. So if this was the target here, when aim assist is on, you can feel a little skip. Especially when you scope in, it's even bigger of a skip. You can feel the slowdown skipping, but it's not as tight as when you just have gyro completely off. You see? So if somebody gets offended because you ask them to turn aim assist off, then I think they're just too sensitive, honestly. Because to me, that's not an offensive thing to ask. If your claim is that you are using 0% aim assist, then turn it to 0%. How much of an offense can that be? It's not. If somebody gets offended, it's because they know that they're using it. I'll tell you, I'll be bold enough to say that. If somebody gets offended by saying, hey, can you turn aim assist off? It's because they're using aim assist and they know it. Yeah, so if flick stick is being used, there's no aim assist. I can tell you that for a certainty. Flick stick doesn't have any aim assist attached to it at all. It's just when you have the regular sticks active is when you'll feel aim assist, only when you use the stick. So if you have regular sticks active but you never touch it and you're only going like this to make your movement, there's no aim assist there. But the moment that you go like this with your stick over the target, there is a noticeable skip. For a brief moment, there is a skip that you'll feel that you can go, oh, if I just follow the skip, I can actually time it right. How do I know? Because I literally have gone through every percentage of aim assist with gyro on and gyro off, and I know to the minutest detail what it feels like. Right? Nobody can convince me otherwise because I felt it for myself. Right? So that's the hardest part about all of this is trying to convince somebody of what I'm saying that doesn't feel it. Because if they don't feel it, then there's no way for them to really gauge with what I'm saying is accurate. So my point is that whether you feel it or you don't, if you turn it to 0, you will for 100% for certain know that aim assist is not playing any factor in your aim at all. And so if somebody takes offense to that, I'm saying that it has to be because they know that aim assist is on. And they're using it. Because there's no reason to take offense to it. If you know for a fact that you're playing with no aim assist, you would have the confidence to go, okay, yeah, I'll turn it to 0 and I'll play exactly the same. You know, but it is an interesting debate, you know, and that's why I want to start this podcast so that we can have debates like this, right? And have some type of data behind it that we can show this is what's happening. What? Oh my gosh, bro. How did I miss every one of those? He literally had the perfect movement to counter what I was doing. Okay, that was pretty clutch. I just need white heels. I'll have to catch up to the chat here in a second because I can't try to win this game and do both. But I'm almost about to win this game if I can find some white heels. It'll be just gravy. Oh, here we go. White heels, please. Still no white heels. What the heck, man? Still no white heels. What's the deal, bro? I just need white heels. That's all I need. Oh, there it is, right there. That's what I needed. Oh, come on, man. I almost did that. Shoot. All right, so now I can catch up to the chat. All right, let's go and see what the chat was discussing here while I was trying to win this match. All right, so let's see. What did I miss here? Well, okay, so let's see. Okay. All right. So I catch the gist of this. All right. So to address what you're saying, Voodoo, if he's asked to turn it to 0 and he feels like he's being discredited, again, I think that's just, it's not personal. It's just, and it's not a discredit in my opinion to say, hey, if you're not playing with aim assist, then turn it to 0%. Because if you're saying outwardly, yeah, I'm using gyro with 0 aim assist, then why not just turn it to 0%? Then, if you still play the same, it will literally be proven that it matters not whether you play aim assist at 100% or 0%. But if it makes a difference, then it makes a difference, you see? So that's what my point is with it. There's no discredit to him that can happen from that. It can only help him. Like even if he did take it as a discredit, it would only help make me look like an idiot for saying that it was true, right? So in either case, he is not at the disadvantage. I am, because I'm the one that's asserting that you have to turn it to 0% if you want aim assist to be off, right? So, but the double blind study test, that is a good way to also figure those things out. But they have to be done in those 4 areas, because those 4 areas you can feel a noticeable difference on the stick and with the gyro. With the steadying turned up to 50, with the controller being set from generic to PlayStation, and with the controller being set from 1 slow to 10 insane. Aim assist being the last test. If you can feel anything in those 4 areas, then all 4 of those areas were flat, hard, categorically denied that it's impossible that those things have anything to do with anything. And in those 4 areas, I feel very noticeable things. So those that would be the test I would think would be the best for double blind, is to get all 4 of those in action. Let's see. Gyro might have a structural disadvantage. Yeah, so to address what you're saying with aim assist, you could literally, well, I think you're wanting to use flick stick. So if you're trying to get aim assist on the gyro itself, I think that would be counterproductive, but it's not, I don't think it's a bad idea if it could be implemented, right? I think that anything to help somebody control things better is good. So that's why I'm not against aim assist, because in my opinion, if somebody has aim assist and is able to destroy, there is a counter for that you can do on mouse and keyboard or any other input that doesn't have aim assist. You just have to be prepared for those players. Because it's part of the game. That's just always been my philosophy. Okay, here's a better example. When I was a salesman at a car dealership, there was always the salespeople that were like, hey, I talked to that guy 6 months ago and he's my customer, so I get half of your deal. There's always salespeople like that, right? That were always afraid that you're going to talk to their customer. My philosophy always was, if my customer from 6 months ago decides to talk to another salesman, then I didn't do my job right, so I don't deserve credit for that. You see, I always look at things from the other end, because there is the viewpoint that customer belongs to that guy because he talked to him 6 months ago. It's the same principle here, right? There are people that believe if you use aim assist, that it is cheating. I'm saying that if somebody uses aim assist to help them play better, more power to them. But there's a way to still beat them in spite of using aim assist. So I'm just looking at it from a different angle. Let's see. Okay, back to the testing. Bro, this is a really good debate. I'm having to filter through this chat here. Okay, so this is the rest of it's more like if you want to use pillow or not. What I think would be an interesting thing to do once we start getting all this other stuff mapped out, from what I talked to the professor about and stuff, is finding different techniques, the pillow technique, the whatever type of technique you want to name it. And it could be yours. You get to name it what you want because nobody has named it yet. This literally is wide open for anybody to just come in and start becoming a master of their little philosophy of how to do it. You know, you basically get to set the narrative for how you want to play it. You know, if you for example, if you end up becoming the person that makes this blow up to where your gameplay and everything that you do is just gold when you touch gyro, then you literally get to write the ticket for how everything else goes. You know, until somebody else comes along second to that and says, okay, here's another way to do gyro successfully too, right? But it's literally wide open for all of us because nobody has taken the time to write the instructions for any of this stuff. So why not let it be us, right? We can write the instructions for this game, for the largest game in the world, and then all the other games, I believe, will just follow suit because nobody's making content for those other games to instruct like this. If there is content out there for instruction, it's very few. You see, so whatever is available to any game for gyro, it's literally wide open for somebody to just come in and just teach it better, make it better, market it better, name the techniques, name everything that goes along with it, and then everybody else will just follow because nobody has an example to follow right now. So that's my 2 cents, and I'm sticking to it. But that's what I love about all this too. See, we're all so passionate about how all this stuff works, and I'm just open-minded enough to say that whatever way you want to do it, I'm all for it, man. I want you to set it up how you want to do it because I literally can tell based on your settings what is happening. I can tell. So because I've spent enough time with all of the settings to know what's going on with each thing, I can literally help every person that is having a problem and tell them what to adjust to fix it. You know, the thing that will put the icing on the cake on this whole thing for me is if I can actually execute, right? So that's the only thing that's holding me back right now from just completely making a blanket like, boom, this is the sledgehammer and this is how I figured it out. Because I'm not destroying. I'm still struggling with my game sense. I'm still struggling with all these other things, trying to figure this out. So I guess the broader point is, if I can suck as bad as I do and I'm doing what I'm doing, then if you can do it better, then come on, man. Jump in the pool with me and let's try to see what we can make happen. Because, I mean, it should never have been me doing this. You know, that's what I think is what's crazy about this whole thing, is that I thought that so many people were going to beat me to the punch, and I literally am the one that's carrying the flag saying, hey, there's a gyro revolution about to happen. Let's get on board. So let's play one more match and let's see if we can do something amazing with this. Yeah, that's what's missing from this whole thing, is a comprehensive guide. You know, so my thought is if I can get the brightest minds in gyro history to help write the best instruction book that there ever was for a video game, I mean, we literally can write our own ticket right here. If we can show each of the different, it's almost kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? Each one of us is like Fire Nation and Water Nation and whatever. We need to be able to be the master of each of these philosophies, of flick stick, of gyro only, you know, whatever it is that you want to play gyro like. Master it, do it, and you become the one that gets to name how to do those techniques. It's that simple. Well, I think that, and this is just my opinion too on this, is that there should be some type of guide, whether it's comprehensive or not. It should be more than just the description. Because the description by itself, just, if there's 4 variables, it works great. But when there's over 30 variables to adjust, it's like trying to put a human body together, having never assembled one before, and trying to know where all the bones and stuff are supposed to go. You can get a description of this bone connects to this bone because it does this, and you're like, I don't even know what that bone looks like. So thanks for the description, but it doesn't help me. There you go. You can name your techniques, bro. You can literally just have a name for all of it and just call everything the Kobe is me. This is how you do the Kobe is me. Yeah, I agree with you, TSF. I think that the guide should come from the developer, and then the community augments that guide when they discover things that the developer didn't take into account, right? But it's like building a rocket ship to the moon, like I've said a million times already, to Mars, and saying, here's the best rocket ship you can fly, but there's no instructions on how to use it, you know? Yeah, well, that will happen. All of the stuff that we're talking about with trying to get Cypher involved and all that, once we can get some heads turned with some gameplay footage that's actually worth something, then I think that's when we'll start getting the attention of people like Cypher and all that, right? But it's got to be first things first. We have to use what we've got and try to get this mastered first with what we have, and then the rest of it will kind of fall into place, in my opinion. So yes, you are correct. It's not something that companies do now, but maybe after we're finished with this project, maybe they will start to do it, because it's only in their best interest. Think of it like this. How much money have they missed out on because they didn't make a guide? How much content could have been created if there was a guide? You see, when people start looking at it in terms of money and how much money was missed, that's when they'll start paying attention to whether or not they should have a guide or not. But it would literally be in Epic's or any developer's best interest to create a comprehensive guide, because if they made the best guide better than what a content creator could make, how much money on views would they make for their content? They would make all the money, because they've got the money to hire people to do this for a living, right? So it's just all a matter of perspective. I think that if they saw the amount of money that they were missing from not making these things, they would change their mind. So yeah, that's not the way they currently do things, but I don't think that it has to stay that way. I think we can change it. I think we could start a revolution. I'm just stupid enough to believe that we can have an influence on these things. Because how cool would it be if we got to be the ones to kind of change the pace of how these things are done? How cool would that be? You know, us 9 people that are watching right now, we could be the ones that influences the rest of all of it. You know, it's just all a matter of perspective. That's the way I see it. Hey, what's up, Exceed? It's been a minute since I've seen you, man. How you been? And yeah, the guide isn't necessarily what's going to make it popular, but it's going to make it possible to be popular because people can understand how to play it and use it. So they can create the content that will make it popular. So it's kind of like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? You have to have the guide in order to have the popular content. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, I almost did that. Exactly. All of these things that you're talking about, bro, especially with the advent of artificial intelligence, these are going to be things that we can create because we're the ones that care about it, right? So that idea that you just had about having some type of sliding scale to use, genius idea, bro. Genius idea. Yeah, I'm all for anything that's going to help somebody play this game better. And not cheat. You know? If they can find a way to calculate and program their controller, then they deserve to be able to use every feature on it that will give them the advantage. Because it literally takes a lot of patience and a lot of smarts to be able to adjust this right, you know? So it's like almost like a reward. If you set it up to be like aimbot because you programmed it and it's not cheating, then more power to you, man. You cracked the code and you can show other people how to do it too, you know? Because the settings were designed to be used for a reason. And we've literally only been using a very small portion of what we could actually be doing with these settings. Well, it all remains to be seen whether or not it can actually be used or not. If there was a way to calculate what you needed to put your settings on through artificial intelligence, why not use it? Why not use what's going to be custom tailored to be for you? Whether it means aim assist or no aim assist. You know, you set it up in a way that helps you play the best. But regardless of all that, we can create the future of how this goes, is my point. Whether there is an artificial sliding scale or artificial intelligence sliding scale or not. We can set the pace. Well, again, that's why I strongly advise anybody that wants to play Gyro and wants to have the most power behind what they're doing is to turn aim assist to 0%. And if they can set it up and destroy at 0%, the same way that they can at 100%, then for sure, it's all skill. 1000%. Well, it seems short-sighted if you hate aim assist, but I don't hate aim assist. I love aim assist. I just don't use it because I know that if I can prove Gyro is good, it's more powerful than aim assist. I mean, if you remember just a few weeks ago or a month ago, when I couldn't figure out how to overcome the feeling of what we were calling auto calibration, if that's what was actually causing me issues, I was going to abandon the whole project and just say, screw it, I'm just going to just use aim assist from now on, you know, and just play with boost, you know. But there's a way to work around all of these things, and there's solutions. So I don't think it's short-sighted, because all you're doing is just giving people options to be able to play the game the way that they want to play it, whether they want to use aim assist or not. Oh, I didn't time it right. Dang it. Yeah, I mean, if people are worried about associating it with cheating, in my mind, all it would do is just make it more attractive. If people want to associate it with cheating, then let them. You know, it's not because if you're not cheating doing it and you're using it right, you can prove it. Just turn aim assist to 0%. I mean, it's that easy. You see? And if you want to use aim assist with Gyro, then if people are accusing you of cheating, so what? You know you're not cheating because you're using what's in the game. You're not using a third-party tool to help you achieve your results. You're using what you've been given in-game. So if you can figure out a way to program it to make it like aimbot for you using the in-game settings, I don't see that as cheating. I see that as you're brilliant you found a way to use the in-game settings to your advantage. Bravo for you. You know, I think everybody's just so focused on all the reasons why things can't work, and we need to start looking at the reasons why they can. You know, because all the things that are being said against aim assist are not going to make the game any better or any worse. All they're going to do is just cause these little fights about what's right and what's wrong about it. You know, I say, if you got a problem with aim assist, then let's find a way to defeat it using the power of gyro with 0% aim assist. Right? Instead of saying, let's remove aim assist from the game, let's say, hey, let's find a way to play better than aim assist players. Because I believe that if you can use gyro skillfully, you will smoke any aim assist player every day of the week. Every day. Hands down. So all of these things to me are non-issues. Because if somebody wants to claim that it's cheating, somebody wants to claim that using gyro with aim assist is going to be associated with cheaters, let them. Because all it's going to do is it's just going to cause more attention to be drawn to gyro, which is what it needs anyways. And then the people that really want to know how it's used, they'll turn aim assist to 0% and they'll see how great it is. You know, I just try to look at things a little different. I understand the arguments behind all of it. I just think that's the reason why it's been stifled for so long. It's because everybody has a reason why things don't work like they're supposed to instead of coming up with a workaround. You know, the solution for everybody is let's turn aim assist off forever for every game. Well, if we know that's not going to happen, let's find a way to just completely destroy on gyro against aim assist, against mouse and keyboard. No, I know all publicity isn't good, man. I'm not saying we give it a bad name on purpose, okay? I'm just saying that all of these things that we're worrying about them before they're actually even a thing. It's good to take it into account. Yes, this could happen, but I say let's get over the first hill first, and let's try to make gyro popular. Let's try to take away all the excuses why this can't be a thing and turn it into a thing. It's up to us. We get to write the ticket. Why? Because nobody is using it. And if nobody is using it, then that means we get to show people how to do it and do it the way that we believe in. So if we show people how to do this and they love it, then guess what? All these other things that we're worrying about aren't going to even be a factor because they're going to be fans of it they're going to be fans of it I can't talk, bro. They're going to be fans of it because of us. So it's not going to be some random person that just uses it to cheat that's going to make gyro popular. It's going to be popular because of people like us. And when we show them how to use it, all the things that we believe in about it are going to get automatically transferred to them. Why? Because we're the ones that are influencing how they play it. You know, so that's why I'm saying is that I think all these things are non-issues. Oh, I just whiffed it. Oh, you're going to have to read through it and watch what's been said, man. It's too much to just go and rehash. But it basically has to do with the implementation of aim assist in gyro, if it's actually there or not, and if it actually would be a good thing to give it to some people if they wanted it or not. My viewpoint is that whatever is in the game that you can program and you can set up yourself because you took the time to figure out how to make it work to your advantage, whether it's with aim assist or gyro or boost, any of it, I think it's good because you took the time to program it to your advantage, so you get the reward, right? And even with the reward that you get for programming it that way, there's still a counter to it. There's still people that are going to destroy you because they're better at countering what you can bring at them, even if you have aim assist. So that's pretty much the gist of it. But you'll have to rewind it so you can hear all the juicy tidbits. See, and imagine having an expert on to debate this and talk about this with this, that how lit would that be? You know? So I'm working on it. Today was the first step, talking to that professor. So I need to talk to several more professors just to kind of get a generalized consensus. Like, I talked to 5 professors and they all 5 said this same thing, you know, type of consensus, to be able to show what is actually happening in game, how to calculate your movement, that kind of stuff. Because if we can crack the code on that, that by itself, in terms of calculating the movement and the speed, will give people the ability to set their settings up in a way that they can counter people that play fast. Right? Because you'll be able to understand how fast you need to go to actually counter what they're doing. You know, how clutch would that be? You know, that's not cheating. That's science and math being applied using your brain. Well, whatever happens with it, I don't believe still that it will become an issue unless we allow it to become one. Sorry, homie. You're not going to be able to catch me this time. Oh my gosh. That's the power of gyro right there, bro. Right there. See? You see? That's exactly what can happen. No, I see what you're saying, Exceed. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't think that your viewpoint or Voodoo's viewpoint is not valid. It's that I think that if we look at it from the perspective of we're at a disadvantage, so we should scream about trying to get it changed, I'm saying let's use the disadvantage to our advantage. If we can destroy in spite of the disadvantage that we have, if it really is one, right? How much more powerful can we prove that gyro is against aim assist, against mouse and keyboard, if we can start destroying? it all becomes a non-issue because we're making it as if aim assist is this 800-pound Godzilla monster that's just destroying everything. And it's not. It's only destroying the people that don't know how to counter it. It's not stopping the pros from making millions of dollars playing mouse and keyboard. Why? Because they're still destroying in tournaments more than controller players are, even though there's aim assist. You see? So, as much of an annoyance as it can be to play against somebody that has aim assist and you know that they're not really that good and they just beat you, yeah, that can be annoying, but there's a way to stop them. You see? So, that's why I've never been one to say stuff shouldn't be allowed, because I've always believed that there's a counter to whatever that stuff is. And I just think it's more powerful to say, in spite of the stuff that is more powerful, I literally, with my own skill, just destroyed somebody that uses aim assist. So how powerful is it now? See, we take away the whole argument. I believe that we as gyro players are the key to making the whole argument against aim assist go away. Because if we can destroy without aim assist against players that have aim assist, then what's the argument about anyways? It becomes a non-issue for everybody. That's the way I see it. Yeah, no, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you, Sunrise. I'm going the wrong direction, homie. Let me see if I can catch up to the chat here. Yeah, I think it would be interesting to have players of every size and shape in terms of whether they use the Switch 2, whether they use Joy-Con, whether they use DualSense, whatever it is. There is room for players of every controller type to just become the master of that domain and just say, I am king of the hill for this input method and this particular controller, and this is what you call this technique, doing it on this device. I mean, we literally get to do that. So that's why I'm saying all these things that we're worrying about with aim assist are completely moot when you compare it to the ability of the opportunity that's here before us. I can't stress it enough. We literally get to write the ticket. Bro, I didn't even see him because I was so focused on trying to get this. That's the power of gyro right there. I literally have been talking my head off, not paying attention, and I still was able to get out of that. That's good. Yeah. And everything that you're saying, Voodoo, all that passion, if you would just start posting stuff, man, you would create a group of people that believe everything that you believe. That's why I'm saying this whole thing is so much like religion. It's crazy, man. There's so many different beliefs about how this needs to be done, you know. But you get to write the ticket on what you want it to be. If you want to see a world without aim assist, then you have to create it. Oh, dang it. I almost did that. I almost did that, bro. So, I guess my best counter to everything that's been said that was opposite of what I was saying is that if you don't like it, just create it. I literally am daring everybody to do it. If you can play better than me and you can do it better than me, right? Then create your own version of how you want this to go and make the world better for no aim assist in it. That's the solution. I'm just saying straight up that I think everybody's been complaining for so long about all of these things that they just need to make it the way that they want. I could care less if people play with aim assist. I love it. I don't use it because I think it's not as good as gyro. You know, but if I could just somehow impress upon you how none of this is actually important. What's important is just let's start posting as many gyro clips as we can so that we can show people how powerful this is with no aim assist, turning it to 0%. How powerful would that be, man? To have people destroy on controller with 0% aim assist. Like, nobody could say anything against your skill. They would say, bro, good job on how you did it. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. No, I know it takes time, bro. I'm not saying that you got to have it perfect. I'm saying that the opportunity for whatever we want it to be. So all the people that are just aim assist haters and just think it should never have been invented, create your content and make a space for people that believe just like you do so that it'll actually change. Because the way that we're going about it now is we're complaining that the developers won't make it the way that we want it. The reason they don't make it that way is because there's not enough people that believe like you out there. If there were, then the developers would listen, you see? So we get to create the people that believe like we believe about this stuff. And it's all going to be related to what kind of content are we promoting? You know, the more gyro content we get out there that's good or bad is just going to help promote gyro in the future. Because it's going to become commonplace to hear about gyro. And that's the reason why nobody has heard of it, is because there's not enough gyro content. Oh, dang it. I screwed that up. Exactly. That's basically what I think my appeal is in some cases, is that it's like a journey of watching some guy trying to do good and he can't. No matter how hard it's almost comedy to me, you know? But you get to put your own flavor on it, right? And I just believe if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to get better and better and better, right? But if you start creating that content, I mean, your stuff could surpass my stuff easily. That's my point, is that any of you watching this could be creating so much better content probably than me. And I'm just trying to encourage you to do it because it only helps me if you do, right? Not only does it help you, but it helps me. It helps all of us because the more of us that there are out there that are creating content, then it becomes like we're an actual force to be reckoned with in the community. Right now, it's just me and a few people that speak Japanese and a few people that speak Indian. I mean, that's literally what's on YouTube right now. If you want to watch people playing Gyro on YouTube, here's your choices. You got me that speaks English. You got a couple Japanese players that can destroy. But English speakers can't understand what they're doing, so they're not going to watch it, right? Then you've got Indian players. Same issue. He does speak English some, but it's just, there's not enough people doing it. So the more people we can get doing it, whether it's good or bad, it just helps all of us, is my point. Well, if you're worried about what comp is going to think about you, I think that's also a non-issue. Because who cares what they think about you? If you lose in the beginning but then you win in the end, why does it matter if they think you're a chode? If they think you're a chode in the beginning but then you destroy them in the end, what does it matter? But that's just me. I think you should do it, Voodoo. I think you would do a great job at it. I think you do an excellent job, homie. Really? When he's ready, he'll do it. I understand what he's saying because that's what stopped me from doing it for so long. But I realized that I was just delaying myself from doing it. Oh, come on, man. I had that played perfectly for 2 seconds until I tried to 50-50 him. I should have closed the wall up, made another window edit, and then shotgunned him in the face. So close, man. Yeah, I mean, do it however you want. We're just trying to encourage you and tell you, bro, if you do it now, you're going to be a lot further along, and probably you'll wish after you got started that you would have done it sooner. That's all we're trying to say. But I get it, because for the first 3 years before I started streaming, as I was trying to get Gyro figured out, I had the same thought process. I was like, I can't post anything until I figure this out. You know, but I got to a point to where I had it figured out enough that I was like, I need to just do it. Do it regardless. Because it'll give me an opportunity to hone my craft, learn how to be in front of an audience of a smaller size, and then I can just gradually grow my ability to be on camera and do this for a larger size audience, you know? Because literally, if I was already an expert at doing this, and then I like had an instant audience size of a lot of people, I don't even think I would know how to handle it. Like, I would just literally fart the whole entire audience away because I wouldn't know what to do with it. Like, it would be there for a few months and then it would just go away. I don't think it would be sustainable. But that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to encourage you, because I believe, Voodoo, that you could do this better than me. You just don't realize it yet. You just don't realize it. So I want to do that. That is next on my list to do. And that's a very good point, Exceed. I do want to start streaming on multiple platforms, but I don't believe that I'm ready for that yet, because I want to get good at being in front of this size audience that I'm having right now and be able to destroy on a level that is better than what I'm doing now. Because I know that if I got in front of a large audience right now, let's say I had 50 people watching me right now, it would be like that for maybe a month, and then they would get tired of watching me die every day. You know? So I would just end up losing audience members, is the way I see it. So I'm doing things slowly to add to what I'm doing every month or two. Like, I'm trying to make a change or a push to kind of be a little more polished, I guess, if you want to call it that. But it's next on the list. I would say that within a year, I should be doing all of those things. You know, streaming on multiple platforms, maybe within the next 4 to 6 months, I would start doing that. That's what I see for myself, at least. Yeah, no, you're absolutely 100% right. I know that I could turn on the faucet full blast right now and get a bunch of people to start watching me. I just don't know that I can get them to keep watching me. That's my fear on trying to turn all the knobs to 10 right now. I'm trying to get a little bit better at talking and playing and just having a good time before I start trying to turn everything to 10. So you guys kind of get to be like the OGs of all of this too, you know, with how this all got started. Because you guys have been here with me from the beginning, you know, and it's an honor to have met you guys, and you guys, you know, love what I'm doing here enough to watch me fail over and over and over again. I mean, that says a lot. Like, I never thought that I would have this level of support. I literally thought I was just going to be just like doing this by myself until I figured it out. But then you guys came along. So yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I really do. I really do. I really think that we have the beginnings of something here that's like a secret that the world doesn't know about yet. That's what this feels like to me. It feels like we're on this ride that the world does not know about yet, and we get to watch it happen. How crazy is that? You know? And if none of that is true, then let me have my fantasy. Let me have my make-believe. At least. Come on. It was fun for 5 minutes. Oh! He almost killed me because I'm an idiot. But I still got him with the power gyro. I hit him for max damage. That was great. Okay, what do I want here? I guess I want that. More than I want the lever action thingamajigger, whatever that is. Oh, come on. Don't do that to me. It's not nice. Oh! Oh, dang it. I almost got him, bro. I wasn't even expecting to hit that rocket launcher shot. Dude. Okay, I'll take that. See, I just have to stop, like, making myself take so much damage, and I would be a million times better, right? That is my number one flaw, is I just take too much damage. Almost got him. See? Took too much damage. Yeah, that's a good idea. I will do that. Ooh, give me that pump. Perfect. Oh, dang it. I didn't know he was on top. I didn't know he was on top. What time is it? I feel like I went... Oh, my gosh. It's 3 in the morning already. All right. Well, I better go to bed. I didn't realize how late it was. But yes, tomorrow I will put some Japanese tags on and see what happens. All right. This was pretty lit tonight. Love you guys. We'll see you next time.